Welcome to On the Move, where we take you behind the scenes of some of Forsyth County's larger construction projects. I'm here in the north part of the county with John Jefferson, Director of Capital Projects. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're going to get from John an update on the Coal Mountain Connector, a new road that's underway here. So tell us first off, what is the Coal Mountain Connector connecting?
Sure. It starts at SR 369 at the light at Bridgetown and extends northwest past where we're standing here between Coal Mountain Park and the fire department headquarters. Crosses Setting Down Road at a roundabout right behind us, and then extends over to the signal at SR 9 at Smith Lane, adjacent to the cemetery. And that's where it ends and ties back into State Route 9. So it's a cut through, if you will. It'll give folks an option. More ways to get around generally is better for traffic flow.
That's great. I love personally cut throughs and ways to alleviate traffic and just another way to get where you're trying to head. So tell us a little bit about the construction. What's the latest update on the status of that?
Sure. It's paved all the way through from Bridgetown over to Smith Lane. We've got some driveway tie-ins that the contractor's working on. We've still got a couple of utilities over at State Route 9 that have to get off of the telephone poles that are left, and then we'll be able to finish up over there. Right now, the biggest challenge we're facing is temperature and rainy conditions. It's about 30 degrees today, and obviously we can't pour concrete or pave and grade with frozen ground, so that's slowing us down right now.
Yeah, we always say weather permitting with these kinds of things, right? So I know that behind us is the Coal Mountain Town Center, or what's being built. Do you have any update for, like, that's a private development, but what's happening with that?
Sure. Toll Brothers is doing the section of the town center that's north of the connector and between Setting Down and Highway 9. They're doing some residential pods. That's a mix of townhomes and single-family homes. That's under construction. Atlantic Residential is doing the section south of the connector. They've started clearing, and I'm guessing they'll start grading as soon as weather permits. That's going to be office, retail, and some additional residential development.
Okay, all right. And right here to our left is the Coal Mountain Park. And I remember when we talked about this before, there's some improvements happening there. What can you tell us about that project?
Sure. The existing parking lot that's in front of where we're standing now, the connector took part of that away. So we've got a design to reconfigure that parking lot, which will pick up a few spaces. And then I believe there are two other areas on the park where we're going to add some additional spaces. So the net is we're not going to lose any spaces. We'll be able to replace what we lost here. There's also part of the park is on a septic system, which is failing. And part of the improvements are going to be to connect the balance of the park to the county's sanitary sewer system off of County Way.
All right, so a lot going on there as well. So before we close out, what are some common misconceptions of projects like this, whether it's the connector or improvements at this park? What are some things that would be helpful for people to know?
So, like a private developer, the county has to get permits. We have to get, if we're accessing a GDOT road, say State Route 369 or SR 9, we've got to get encroachment permits, signal permits, those kind of things. And then when the county builds something, we go through the planning review process, the building department, if they're involved, and we've got to get permits as well and coordinate with our other county departments like water and sewer and the parks department. So that planning phase takes some time, just like it would in a private development. And then transportation projects, we've got to coordinate with the utilities that are there. Most transportation projects have multiple utilities. For example, Atlanta Gas Light, Georgia Power, Sony EMC, AT&T, Verizon, Zayo. There are a multitude of telecom companies that we have to coordinate with, and that takes more time, frankly, than I wish it would sometimes, but that's just the reality of what we got to deal with.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for what you and your team do to make all that come together. Well, that pretty much covers it. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, John. Catch the latest from Forsyth County at forsythco.com, on our social media channels, and of course, TV Forsyth. See you later.